Welcome everyone. My name is Prachi Damle and I'm a principal software engineer at SUSE. I've been working on the Rancher product for almost 6 years now. I have developed solutions around Rancher's authentication authorization framework, multi-cluster applications, DNS, and also CIS scanning of the clusters. Today I'll be talking about Rancher's authentication and authorization framework and how it enables managing multiple Kubernetes clusters. I'll start with a brief about Rancher and why authentication is a key functionality for Rancher's multi-cluster management platform. Then we will dive straight into how Rancher implements its authentication framework, starting with some basics of Kubernetes authentication. Further, I'll continue with Rancher's authorization framework and how it extends the Kubernetes authorization concepts. I'll also discuss some use cases that Rancher's authentication and authorization helps facilitating, especially for a multi-cluster management platform. So let's get started. We have witnessed the rise of Kubernetes, starting with deploying VMs into private or on-prem cloud or public cloud. We have come a long way to using containers where we are packaging our software and all of its dependencies into a container and deploying them using Docker or now using Kubernetes. So Kubernetes has become a popular container orchestration platform. Now, having one Kubernetes cluster to handle your cloud native applications is not sufficient anymore, and having a multi cluster setup has become a de facto standard. The reason is using a multi cluster setup, one can support geographically separate regions, so the applications can be scaled across multiple regions. Also, in cases where you need to support different setups depending on functionalities, like you need a setup for production applications while you need another setup for development and testing, or depending on the need of security standards, your setups can vary in security levels. So, for all this, you need a multi cluster platform. Rancher is one such Kubernetes multiple cluster management platform, which helps you deploy and manage heterogeneous mix of Kubernetes clusters. Using Rancher, one can create clusters on hosted Kubernetes providers like GKE, EKS, or one can import clusters which have been created elsewhere and manage them via Rancher, or one can provision new clusters by provisioning nodes onto infrastructure providers like GCP or EC2. Thus, using Rancher from a one central point, one can create multiple Kubernetes clusters and manage them centrally. One key functionality in order to be able to manage and support the multiple clusters is authentication and authorization support that Rancher offers. Now, Kubernetes itself already has a lot of support for authentication. So, why cannot we just use that? The reason is that Rancher is sitting externally in front of multiple clusters. Now, each Kubernetes cluster comes up with its own authentication strategy. For example, in Kubernetes, there are various authentication strategies supported, like client cert auth, or a static token file, or bearer tokens. And each of the Kubernetes cluster can be configured with one of these strategies. But when you are managing multiple such clusters from a central point, it's best to have a unified experience and a uniform authentication strategy. Now, most of the hosted Kubernetes providers lock down the configuration of the Kubernetes control plane, and it is not possible for an external platform like Rancher to go on and configure an authentication strategy of choice on these Kubernetes clusters. Thus, configuring the authentication strategy that Kubernetes offers out of the box in a uniform way on all the clusters that Rancher manage uh, may not become possible. Also, Kubernetes doesn't have full support for the user and group entities. It does have service accounts as users, but for normal users, Kubernetes documents that they should be managed externally by external identity providers. Thus, there is no API support for an user object or its group memberships. And that's why if you want to manage multiple Kubernetes clusters and users across these clusters, there is a need to manage them externally. That's why Rancher has designed and developed its own authentication framework and extended Kubernetes to support the user and group objects. Rancher makes use of another key feature that Kubernetes offers, that is user impersonation, which is ability of one account or one user to act on behalf of the other. Let's see how Rancher uses this important feature and implements its authentication framework. Thus, as we just looked at, Rancher is a platform supporting heterogeneous mix of clusters, and each of this Kubernetes cluster can bring in its own authentication strategy. But it's not possible to configure the authentication strategy for many of the clusters, for example, those hosted on the hosted Kubernetes providers. Also, replicating and managing the users and groups across the clusters, and also making sure they have the right permissions across all clusters. It needs some central handling or some handling outside of Kubernetes cluster level. That's why Rancher came up with its central authentication and authorization framework. In this central authentication proxy model, Rancher is sitting in front of all the Kubernetes clusters and acting as a proxy. So the administrator of your setup configures authentication once centrally on Rancher. So it configures authentication against one of the integrations that are available under Rancher, like integration with Active Directory or OpenLDAP or GitHub or SAML based providers. And it enables authentication on the Rancher setup using these providers, which have been set up by your enterprise. And Rancher admin can then manage access to multiple Kubernetes clusters from a single pane of glass by using this auth that is set up at Rancher level. Thus, whenever user makes a request to one of the Kubernetes clusters set up in Rancher, user first authenticates to Rancher. Rancher validates the user token against the external auth provider that has been configured. And once the user has been validated by the auth provider, a session is set up by Rancher, which authorizes the user to perform the actions on the Kubernetes cluster or to access that particular Kubernetes cluster. Thus, by sitting in front of multiple clusters, Rancher acts as a central authentication proxy and facilitates the authentication for multiple clusters. Now, a little bit more about the authentication framework implementation. Now, Rancher extends the Kubernetes API using CRDs or custom resource definitions. Also implements a bunch of external controllers that run in the Rancher server or at the management cluster level, which can manage these custom resources. For example, the user custom resource definition. So as we have seen, Kubernetes does not support the user object or group object. So Rancher extends the Kubernetes API using these CRDs. It defines the user CRD, which carries all the information that Rancher grabs from the external auth provider when the user logs into the system, like the login name or the display name or the group membership of the users are all captured and stored under the user custom resource. Any other objects that are needed to authorize the user, for example, the role permissions, are also defined using various custom resources. For example, the role templates and the role template binding define various group of permissions that Rancher can assign the users and grant access. So using CRDs, Rancher extends the Kubernetes API and facilitates its authentication and authorization model. With this, we can take a look at how Rancher manages the authorization part. Before that, a brief about the difference between authentication and authorization. Authentication controls if a user is eligible to access a cluster that has been set up in Rancher by validating the user's credentials against the external auth provider. And authorization dictates whether this user, whose credentials have been validated by the external auth provider, is eligible or authorized to perform a particular action inside the cluster or is eligible to access a particular resource of the cluster. Now, authentication is handled by Rancher, which is sitting externally outside and in front of all the multiple Kubernetes clusters. But authorization is handled by each individual Kubernetes cluster's API server. And the Kubernetes API server handles this by making use of the roles or the permissions that have been set up by Rancher using its authorization model. So as we dive into authorization framework, some basics about the authorization that is supported out of box by Kubernetes. Kubernetes has a concept of role and cluster role, and role and cluster role only differ in the scope at which they apply. Both of them contain rules or permissions that allow a user to access a resource or perform an action on the resource. A role applies at a Kubernetes namespace level, while a cluster role assigns these permissions for the whole cluster or cluster-wide permissions. Now, in Kubernetes, a user account or a group account or a service account all are called as subject. And a role binding or cluster role binding establishes the connection between a role or cluster role to one of these subjects. So to grant a particular role or a set of permissions to a user, one has to create a role binding between this particular role and the subject or the user's ID. So in order to set up RBAC, Rancher makes use of these concepts and further extends this concept of role and cluster role to support the multiple cluster use cases. So what Rancher does is introduces few more roles along with role and cluster role to extend the RBAC model. Rancher sits in front of all the Kubernetes clusters. So there is a need to have a role which grants access to all the clusters and can manage operations at a global level. That's why Rancher defines another custom resource called as global role. So the permissions that the global role defines enable a user to operate at a global level, which potentially impact all the downstream clusters that have been set up in Rancher. A user that can access all the clusters, create other clusters, manage other users, and grant permissions to them. Such a user is defined in Rancher as a global admin. They can create other clusters and manage users inside the cluster and across clusters. Along with global role, Rancher also extends the RBAC model by defining a project role. Before that, let's take a look at what is a Rancher project. Now, Kubernetes cluster, as we know, is basically a set of namespaces. So namespace is a way to divide the cluster resources across users. Typically, when your cluster resources are shared by a wide range of users deploying apps to the same cluster, each user usually has been assigned a namespace. But this does not help to solve some of the multi-cluster use cases. For example, multi-tenancy. How can multiple tenants share the resources within a cluster without accessing each other's resources? Or what if you want to combine a group of users and form a team and collaborate by sharing resources across namespaces? To facilitate such use cases, Rancher has introduced a concept called as project. Project is basically a set of or a collection of namespaces. When a user is assigned to a project, they become the project member and they can access all the namespaces within the project. So they can access all the resources that the namespaces can access. Then another use case of project is to support multi-tenancy within a cluster where you want to do resource segmentation between various projects or multiple tenants and limit access to each other's resources. So with this concept of project, there is a need to define another custom role called as project role. So Rancher has extended its RBAC model further by adding project role, which defines permissions that apply to the set of namespaces which belong to a particular project. Thus, project can also help in granting permissions to users in one action, multiple users belonging to different namespaces in one action. So they can be grouped together inside one project, and using Rancher, permissions need to be granted only to that particular project. Rancher behind the scenes takes care of replicating these permissions and tying them to these individual namespaces. Rancher project also satisfies one more important use case, that is controlling infrastructure level access. For example, controlling if users in project A can access particular pods or if they can start a privileged pod. Rancher allows you to define pod security policies at project level. Or the use case where you want to define how much resources can be used by a particular project versus how much resources can be shared by a project, other project. For that, resource quota management can be configured at project level. Also, Rancher offers the ability to define network policies at project level. So this can help manage whether users in a project A can see and access resources or applications that have been deployed by users in project B by defining network policies between these projects. This is the way Rancher implements its authorization and authentication framework using the Kubernetes concepts, but to help multi-cluster use cases. So to summarize the use cases that these two frameworks facilitate are, there's a need to offer a unified way or uniform way of authenticating against multiple Kubernetes clusters that have been set up under Rancher, and Rancher's authentication proxy, which is a central point of authentication, facilitates that. Also, Rancher provides a single global pane to manage users across multiple clusters and also to grant permissions across multiple clusters. Rancher project is an important concept that facilitates use case like multi-tenancy or granting infrastructure level access between group of users. This whole model of authorization that Rancher defines, it supports self-service access, which means that a single user of an organization can make use of Kubernetes such that they can create their own cluster if they have enough permissions being granted. They can create projects under those clusters, invite other users to become cluster members. And those members can further create projects and invite more project members and set up a whole environment. Thus, this Rancher's authentication and authorization model satisfies a self-service mode. With this, I'll hop on to a demo which demonstrates all this global view as well as all the users and roles and how to share access between clusters and projects using Rancher. Now I'll demonstrate Rancher's authentication and authorization implementations on a live Rancher setup. So here I have a setup and I'm logging in as the global admin of this setup. This particular Rancher setup has OpenLDAP authentication configured on it. So this is a user which is defined in my OpenLDAP directory, and I'm logging in using the credentials that get validated against OpenLDAP. Once a user logs in, they land on the global view of this Rancher setup. In the global view, clusters that have been added and granted access to get listed. So the global admin has access to all the clusters that have been created in this Rancher setup. So that's why right now I have two such clusters being added. If a new cluster has to be added in Rancher, then one has to click on the add cluster, and using this, a cluster of any type, like registering an existing Kubernetes cluster which is running in a hosted provider, or creating a new cluster using existing nodes, or provisioning new nodes in an infrastructure provider, and using Rancher Kubernetes Engine, the RK engine, to create a new cluster using those nodes. Or a cluster can be set up from scratch on the hosted Kubernetes provider from the Rancher setup. Once a cluster has been set up in this way, once it's provisioned successfully, it gets listed in this global view. Now, under a cluster, two projects by default get listed, the default and the system. So Rancher creates two projects by default. The default project contains the Kubernetes default namespace, while the system project contains the kubesystem namespace and other system namespaces that Rancher creates in order to install the system applications. In order to set up the central authentication for these multiple clusters from the Rancher setup, the admin needs to go to the security tab and go to authentication and set up authentication against one of the auth providers that are supported by Rancher. This particular setup already has OpenLDAP authentication setup, but let's hop on to another setup that I have. Drilling down to security authentication, here is a list of all the auth providers that are supported by Rancher. So one can integrate with Active Directory in the enterprise, or SAML-based providers like Shibboleth, Okta, Keycloak, or GitHub. Any of these external auth providers are supported from Rancher. The admin can then enter the configuration details to talk to these auth providers and to validate the users and grab information and group memberships of the users from these auth providers that are present externally. So coming back to my setup where OpenLDAP has been set up, under the security users tab, all the users that have logged into your setup get listed. So right now I have logged in as the global admin, but let's log in as another user which is present in my OpenLDAP directory. Once they log in and the credentials are validated against OpenLDAP, they get access to the global view of the Rancher. Right now, this particular user does not have any permissions to access any cluster. But as a standard user, they can add their own cluster and become cluster owner and then deploy applications into the projects under this cluster. So this way, a single standard user can get started by having their own setup. But what if users want to share access across clusters or projects? So let's go back and log in as the admin. Now, since another user has logged into this setup, under users tab, there will be two entries, and the new test user 2 entry has also been created. Now, if the admin wants to give access to this new user to the cluster test, they can drill down to this particular cluster and add this particular user as the member of this cluster. The admin can grant, or the cluster owner can grant permissions as cluster owner or a member, or they can grant custom permissions to this particular user. Once the user has been added as a cluster member, they still don't have access to any of the projects under this cluster. So they have to be added as project members of one of the projects. So by going into the default project under members, this particular user can be added as project member. And now if this user logs into Rancher, Rancher controllers have set up the necessary permissions and role bindings for this particular user so that they can access the cluster that they have been granted access to. So the test cluster shows up into the list of clusters in the global view for this user. And they can also drill down to the projects that they have been granted access to. So we granted the user access to the default project, and now they can see the workloads running in the default project since they became the member of this project. In this way, the permissions can be set up and shared across multiple clusters between the set of users that are logged in and validated against an auth provider centrally. Now, all these roles that Rancher supports for granting permissions, Rancher has built-in templates for these roles. So the global role or the cluster role or the project role, various role templates have been built in Rancher, and when Rancher server starts up, the admin can use these role templates to grant necessary permissions to the users. Also, custom roles can be created by the admin by using the add button. Now this adds a cluster role, so the role or the permissions are granted at the cluster level, or these are cluster wide permissions. So a custom role can be created, and which resources in the Kubernetes cluster can be accessed by this role can be specified, and what operations can be performed on that resource can also be specified through this Rancher portal. If a role needs to inherit from an already built-in role, then the admin can select one of the built-in role templates and then create the custom role. Thus, in this way, the Rancher platform supports a central unified authentication experience as well as extends the Kubernetes RBAC to manage the users and permissions across multiple Kubernetes clusters. So thank you for attending with this live demo. I conclude my session. If you have any questions, please feel free to connect with me on Rocket Chat or Slack. Thank you.